Hello everyone, in this lecture we will study about software and hardware co-design under the heading Basic Concepts. Let's begin. So, the meeting of this system level objective. What does our system wants? Which is basically the trade-off between hardware and software in system. And we can do this through their concurrent design. So the key concepts which lie in hardware software designs are concurrent. That is, we have to take both, that is hardware as well as software developing at the same time on parallel path. And the second key concept is integrated. That is the interaction between these hardware and software development to produce any design that meet performance criteria and functional specification. Okay, so we should take these two points together while designing hardware and software co-design. That is, first they have to be developed at the same time, that is concurrent and integrated. There should be an interaction between these hardware and software development to produce the design. Okay, so what are the factors? Let us see what does it require to design this hardware and software co-design. So the major factor that drive that we need for this hardware software co-design is the fact that most systems today include both. That is, it includes the dedicated hardware unit as well as their software unit, which is executing on microcontroller on general purpose processor. The increasing use of programmable processors being used nowadays in systems that formerly may all have been all hardware, and the availability of cheap microcontrollers available nowadays for use in embedded systems, the availability of processor code that can be easily embedded into an ASIC design, and the increased efficiency of higher level languages like C, C++, compiler that makes writing efficient code of embedded processor much easier and less time consuming. They all are the factors that are increasing the amount of software in embedded system. So it is required to develop both the hardware as well as the software co-design. A number of technologies have been recently enabling this co-design to become more feasible, like high-level hardware synthesis capability of improved design automation tools. Okay, the second is this ASIC development, which allow complex algorithms to be implemented in the silicon very quickly and inexpensively. While the third is the RISC technology, RISC technology has allowed traditional hardware functionality to be implemented easily in software. So these are the different points which have enabled our hardware software co-design to become more feasible. First, we will categorize hardware software systems. First is the application domain. Let us categorize them according to the application domain, that is embedded system. The first heading is the manufacturer control, consumer electronics, vehicles, telecommunication, defense system. They all require some kind of embedded system that can have both hardware as well as software system. Now we can see the vehicles. There are players in all of the cars. You can see there are media players which require both a software as well as hardware to function them properly. Okay, as well as in telecommunication, you can use see that in every call, video call or data call we do, that require both a software as well as a hardware which enables the function of telecommunication properly. Then the instruction set architecture and reconfigurable systems. They all require some kind of hardware as well as software. Then next, we can how we can categorize the degree of programmability. What kind of programmable it requires, that is access to programming as well as level of programming. And then third is implementation features. We can categorize on the basis of discrete versus integrated components and application technologies. Okay, then last point of this hardware software co-design is the component of the co-design problem. It also requires the specification of the system, hardware, software partitioning, architectural assumptions like what it requires, the type of processor it has, what interface will it will require the hardware and software. Then it will have partitioning the different objectives, like we should know want to maximize speed. Then we will see the latency requirement, the delay if there is any delay. Then we always want to minimize size as well as the cost. Then partitioning different strategies like high level partitioning by hand, automated partitioning using various techniques, and scheduling. There should be a proper scheduling, that is operation scheduling in hardware, instruction scheduling in compiler, and process scheduling in operating system. They all are required while designing this co-design problem. And the last point is that modeling the hardware and software system during the design process. Okay, so they all are the different components of the co-design problem which have to be taken. First is to satisfy what is the system. Then second is that hardware and software partitioning, what architecture it needs, what objectives we have to take by designing the system. And third point is that scheduling. We should schedule our hardware instruction schedule in compiler as well as what process we should schedule in operating system. And the last point is that we should model our hardware and software system during the design process. So this is all about hardware software co-design problem. In the next lecture, we will study about mixed signal design issues. Thank you.